by the 8 times world memory champion Dominic O'Brien, asking him some of the most frequently asked questions. So your question for today, Dominic, is, have you got any advice on keeping a good brain and memory function?
Yes, there are a number of things you can do to keep mentally fit. Aerobic exercise, your brain, your memory loves oxygen. So feed it with oxygen, give it a little bit of exercise. I do a daily memory exercise, just memorizing a deck of cards. I say just, memorizing, spending 10 or 15 minutes doing a memory training exercise of some sort. It could be the tray game where you put objects on the tray and trying to memorize objects that way. Getting good quality sleep, very important. A balanced nutrition. Fish is very good for you, omega-3. And doing things that you like to do that's not terribly good for you, doing it in moderation. I'm talking about, I like drinking wine. So I certainly wouldn't drink before a memory competition. In fact, I probably don't drink for a couple of weeks before that. I think probably the most important thing is to play the game of memory, as I call it. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to keeping records of my performances. So I have graphs, because I like to see over time what my performance is. And as long as that graph is coming down in terms of time, if I'm getting faster and faster over a period of months, even by a fraction, then I know I'm on the right track for that. Taking up a new skill, learning something complicated, maybe even Scottish dancing, dare I say, Elaine, is good for you, something that you haven't done before. Anything that challenges your brain and leaves your brain slightly out of breath. Now, the jury is out at the moment on whether this is transferable. I'm absolutely convinced that it is. In other words, if you train your memory in one respect, you're memorizing cards or numbers, does that help you to learn to problem solve in other areas? I believe it does. And there is some evidence that if you play computer games, particularly first-person action games, that aids problem solving and memory. When computers first came out in the 1990s, I got hold of a game called Doom. I don't know whether you've heard of that, but I used to love the first-person shootout. And I used to design my own levels as well. In fact, to this day, when I say levels, these are locations. They could be rooms or houses or buildings, which I designed myself. And I designed specifically for memorizing information. And I use it to this day to remember the spoken number, which is very difficult when you listen to a number that's spoken at the rate of 1 digit a second. The reason I like these levels, these virtual landscapes, is because I can empty them of characters, and I've just got the buildings themselves. And I'm able to visualize these numbers, code them pretty quickly, and put them along each of the stages of my virtual journey.
So you've been able to combine the virtual world with your memory world with reality.
Very well put, Elaine, yes. I mean, obviously I use real locations as well, and but the reason I like these virtual landscapes is they're nice and peaceful. They're not cluttered with other memories as well. So I'm not distracted by certain things from memories from the past. So they're nice, clean locations for memorizing new information, particularly under pressure. And that's probably the most stressful discipline, is the spoken number, because you have to have absolute concentration and it's sudden death. So it's all very well memorizing a 100-digit number, but if you've got the 3rd digit wrong, the score is 2.
That's fascinating. I've never heard anybody talk about using virtual landscapes in order to do something quite so strategic. But thank you very much for that. Thanks, Dominic.